Three, two, one. Hello, friend. How are you? I'm here, the seer, she. Some call me the Reiki Master Healer. Some call me the Chakra Healer. Some call me just the smart egg. Okay, we won't go there. Hi, I'm so happy to be back on this February 8th, 2020. Today is calling for confidence. It's a 7-day. The new moon has happened. The full moon will be on, keep that in your calendar, for March 9th. I will talk about that full moon on that time when we get here. In the meantime, we are going to talk about what's happening around us. The energies are purging, cleaning. There's viruses, there's fires, there's floods happening all around us. I also went to the Canary Islands over the holidays. I think I shared that with you. I also found out that the Canary Islands over in Tenerife, Spain, they found bones in a volcano, in a cave, of children and women in 1 week. This is all happening this February, those twos. And so remember, twos are choices. Twos are change. Which way do you go? What way do you go? Up, down? Which way do you believe? This February is also an energy of the two fishes, the Pisces, the two fishes being biblical, spiritual, being pulled in two different directions. One going up to the spirit, the other one going down beneath the sea. Which way do you go? The coronavirus is all the talk everywhere. Airplanes are canceling movement. Cities, towns, schools are being shut down globally. Italy is the latest sadness of the coronavirus. China was the first. And then, of course, it's showing up everywhere else. But those two cities right now are the two cities that it has showed up to be more deadly, where most people are being ill from it, and it's just getting started. So I want to talk about healing. I want to talk about how we can grow our bodies, understanding the healing process. If you come up with the flu, if you get sick, a cold, something minor during this season, remember, okay, one of my mentors, and that's what these cards are, guys. We've been using the Mystical Charming Oracle book. And these cards were designed, guided, and written by Alberto Villoldo, Colette Bowen-Reed, and Marcela Lobos. Marcela I'm not as familiar with, but I believe she's the wife of Alberto. Alberto is one of my mentors. I read his book, Grow a New Body. And some of the things he talks about in that new body, let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Villaldo and why he's one of my mentors, why he's my hero, shaman that I've been following. So he's a medical anthropologist. He's also a psychiatrist. And somehow those modalities, or that practice, that education, that scholar in him was led to study a spiritual practice in the Amazon and the Andes, and learned from some of the most prominent shamans that are living today and their ancestors from those Andes mountains and those mystical mountains of Peru. He was able to study for something like 20, 35 years of his life. In his story, he tells the story of how he healed himself. He got really, really sick on his path, on his journey. And for all of us, at some time in our lives, we will encounter a sickness, an illness, or some type of surgery that will be needed, or some type of just soul breakdown. So what I took away from his teaching, and I still follow him online, take his classes, courses. I sign up for them and participate. And it has helped me to grow, along with Caroline Mace, along with so many, many others, that today we're focusing on healing. So as a healer, as a chakra understanding healer that we use as a guidance, he talks about how every 15 years, your heart is renewed. Bones, every 2 years, your lung and your skin replenishes itself, renews itself every 2 to 4 weeks. And your intestines, where your food is digested, actually every 3 days. It says every 3 days you cleanse yourself. You have to have some type of movement through bodily fluids, whether it's coming through as poop or coming through as flowing liquid. It has to come out. And if you're detoxing your liver, your intestines every 3 days, it's like it's new. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's regenerated. So we will talk about, in the cards today, we're following what I call persevering and growing a new body through diet, vitamins, supplements. Supplements and vitamins are different. Oh, excuse me. As well as superfoods. And then, so let's go through that list real quickly once more. We're going to grow a new body this year. And we're going to start this process through six different channels. And those vital channels of healing yourself is diet, vitamins, supplements, superfoods, rest, meditation, and uninterrupted time with spirit. That is the secret to growing a new body, becoming healthy, surviving the coronavirus or whatever flu or virus that comes upon us. Now, once we've done those things, it's more vital to make sure the balance is happened through exercise as well as some type of complementary or supplemental healing. Whether you go to a doctor, get a tune-up on, okay, where in my body am I breaking down? Where in my soul does it need to heal? Where in my body, and that's where those chakras, guys, come in handy. I've talked about the chakras for the last 9 months. We started this journey on YouTube in April. So I would suggest going back from the beginning of those videos that I started on conscious healing if you need some additional assistance in learning how crystals clear our energy body, how it cleanses up after we are working on those 6 persevering additives or lifestyle steps towards building a new body and coming up in balance before 2021. So I'm not going to go back through the crystals on this video. I'm not going to go back through the chakras on this video. We've done it throughout this channel, throughout our healing phases. Some of you have met with me in person. We've talked about your individual healing and care and how each one of those chakras aid and support in that. So we've also, some of you have actually had a color healing from me, or a Reiki healing from me, or a meditation session. So I know some of you have been asking to come together with me, try to get in, but my schedule, guys, I apologize. My schedule has been so jam-packed that right now I don't have any scheduled time for personal one-on-one healing until April. So, and I've been trying to squeeze some people in, and it's just not going to happen. My commitments in, my other life are plenty, as well as some of the commitments that I previously made last year to get some healings and some one-on-one time in with some of you. So I'm going to start with our cards. I actually been meditating and doing my own little, what I call prayer or meditation before I start the video with the cards. And I also talk to the cards to see where we're going with the cards. If these are cards, is there another deck that are cards? And we're still in these shaman energies, which are very, very powerful. And it's probably because I have been spending a lot of time in my personal growth with my shaman energies and the energies of the universe speaking to me through these cards. So, dear shaman, do you have any more cards? We have a few cards that already came out on us. Our intent is our overall well-being and health. Is there any messages in addition to the six possible steps to persevere in good health for mind, body, soul, and spirit? Dear cards, the cards are stiff today. They're very, very stiff. How you guys been doing? I hope all is well. I hope you have stayed out of harm's way and you've been safe from all of the earth purgings that are around us and amongst us, whether it's, like I said, the fires or the tornadoes or hurricanes or flooding or snowstorms. There's been a lot of snowstorms happening out of the blue in the last month. And then now this virus that is plaguing us around the globe. So are those our cards, dear angels and spirits? Do we have all of our cards? Cards doing some funky things today. They're flipping, they're sticking out, they're begging to come out, but because they're so stiff, some of them wasn't able to just come out. I had a card come out when I was just talking. It just fell out on its own, but I put it back because the card just did not say it was a part of our reading. It was just there, and I didn't even turn it over and look. But if it was meant to be here, it's here now. It came out. Okay, I think that's our cards, guys. And I try to make sure I set the lighting as well as, yeah, that is it. I try to set the lighting to make sure that you can see these cards. Those cards over here came out first, and the rattle came out last. So we will go ahead and pick these cards up and get started. Okay, so the energy that I was praying on and contemplating with our cards today, and he actually energized our cards by giving it some love, is this little elephant. Elephants in some cultures and traditions are of good luck. Elephants have a very, very good memory. This elephant is like a cobalt or deep sea blue. And I don't know if you could see the little sparkles of light. He has gold threaded throughout his body. And this is a symbol for us in our third eye. So our third eye chakra, last reading, was very prominent in that reading, meaning we can see. It was talking about our 2020 vision. So let's see where we are. We don't have a whole lot of cards in my hand, but I'm sure it's just enough. The first card is the Mystical Shaman. The first card starting out is 38 and it's 11. We've had this Mystical Shaman. And the Mystical Shaman is, guys, exactly what I was talking about. I was talking about Dr. Violato. I think I say his name right, Violato. Alberto, who is one of the creators of these cards. And so being that we're getting this Mystical Shaman as our first card, and remember, it's 11, so it's mystical and spiritual all on its own. So it's definitely telling us to pay attention. It's definitely telling us that right now, this energy that we're in, coming into March, on this day, a 7th day, means confidence. The confidence of the Mystical Shaman is a storyteller. And in the stories that the shaman tells is, so when we say story, so we stop and we observe. So when the shaman is present in our dreams or in our story of our life, a lot of it is like a myth. It's like mystical. So this is an invitation to live without any attachments. I spoke with a beautiful, beautiful young woman last week about some of the challenges she was going through, and I actually did a meditation healing for her. I did a distant focus on trying to help her come up with the source of or direction for what was happening in her life and where to go. And one of the things that came up in that meditation was sometimes we try to be so much to everyone in our lives, whether it's our parents, our spouses, our mates, our job, our employer, our just people who we look up to. And so we put pressure on ourselves to be something that we think that they want us to be, or they need us to be, or they're looking for us to be. And the advice was to be nothing to no one. So guys, if you can focus on for yourselves, I think it's great advice for all of us to be nothing to no one but ourselves. And dream our own dream. Act on our own inspirations. And the divine impulse, the mystery of the Mystical Shaman. And in this picture, there's a picture of a bird. There's a picture of the moon. There's a picture of a spirit. There's a picture of a great chief, a great shaman who is looking and sending out the myth or the elements or the symbol of alchemy. To send out alchemy means to spin truth, to turn lead into gold. So take this energy this week of this mystical shaman and look at the mysteries of our own life, meaning it's like just be an observer. Stand back and watch your story. And as you watch your story, write it down on paper or say it out loud. Tell your story of what is happening, what has been happening to you. And the mystical shaman right now is here to help you sing in or bring in or call in your divine purpose, your divine existence, and to help you see as you dream at night. So when you go to bed and you think about, I'm not thinking about dreaming, I'm just wanting to get some rest. And so when you're getting that rest, when you learn to place a proper diet in your life, vitamins, supplements, superfoods, and rest, when you go to rest after meditation, that is when your dreams become mystical. That is when you wake up and there's this being or this divine presence that manifests in the night to give you secrets, to tell your story, to help you uncover or to decipher or to peel away so that you can see that your alchemy, your lead, is now gold, that the gold is there for the taking. I hope I didn't. We're going to keep going because maybe it'll help even more clarify, because I can hear the whispers of the shaman, but I can't decipher if it's the wind that's telling me through my own journey what the mystical shaman is trying to say. Our next card is the wind. And we're coming up with the number 9 for the wind. And we've had the wind. We talked about these elements. And with the wind showing up after the mystical shaman, we're talking about air, that it's blowing around. The wind is blowing. When the wind blows, what do? Do you go against the wind, or do you, like a balloon, allow the wind to take you and glide through the air with the element of wind? So this element, it rules communication. It rules thought, inspiration, ideas. Attainment is what number 9 is. So when the wind is blowing from the 4 directions, and we've talked about this is bringing us back into balance. I'm starting to understand why our cards are coming up the way they're coming right now, because when the wind blows, whichever way it blows for you, the message is coming in on the wind, whispering or shouting for you to take courage and then as you're going with the wind, flowing with the wind, flowing in your life, you turn around and you allow that wind. Just think about how when you're turning around, allowing the wind to blow in your face, it feels good. Or when you think about you see in the car where the dog, they roll the window down and the dog has got his little face out there and his hair is just blowing in the wind as the car goes. How good that feels. That's because the wind is calling. It's a sign to say, perhaps your mind is trying to, or the mystical shaman is telling you that something is about to happen, that you are about to gain the clarity, you are about to see that your ideas are solid, and that this shift that is happening, that is moving in all directions, because the South says when the wind is coming from the South, is saying that you have discarded, you have gotten rid of, you have left behind. And so when you're coming up from the South up to the air of the West is taking you into your mind, into thought. And so I would say the South is when you're healing your body. The South is going to be how you take care of what's below. So your diet, your digestive system. So that's going to be important to get rid of, to cleanse out, to clear out. And that's going to be through superfoods, vitamins, and diets that are going to help move and discard those habits. I heard that the Pope said for the Catholic faith, for Lent, why don't you this year try for 40 days to get rid of bad habits? Again, it's that purging. It's happening all around. All spiritual guidance is about purging. And if you don't purge on your own, it's going to happen. And when it happens without your control of it, that means it's going to be painful, friend. It's going to be painful, my friend. So when you get up to the West, these are going to be final decisions after you've cleared out, after you've gotten rid of the constipation, the uncomfortableness in the stomach, the flu, the virus, the bug, whatever it is, you're going to have a clarity. Because at that point, you're going to feel good. And so when you go to the north, when the wind starts blowing and bringing you to the north, it's bringing and showing you strength and wisdom. When you think about the East is vision and purpose. When you turn and look to the East, think of a compass. Which way are you going? Which way is the wind blowing? And then when the wind is blowing and you're flowing, take the courage, turn around, face the wind, and see all its glory. Wow, the wind. Our next card is, they're all the same. The owl. This is all about air. This is all about balancing our third eye. This is all about having discernment, wisdom, opening our spiritual self for guidance, and trusting and seeing that guidance. This card breaks down to a 3. Creativity, it's all in the mind. It's all in the eye. It's all to be seen. We can see now. And we have been seeing since January 2020. Clear vision. How clear are you? So remember the mystical shaman? So the mystical shaman is also here, guys, to say be careful for what you pray for. Because whatever you're praying for, whatever you're meditating on, whatever your intentions are being put out there, whether it's to be happy, prosperous, famous, loved, whatever, start seeing your dreams come into being. See them. And I'm not talking about like how they say, if you dream it, see it, say it, write it down. Yes, all of those things are important. But we're talking about on a spiritual level. Because at this time, this is one moment in a million of moments of our life. So now is the time to let go and just be our story. Move our story. And just let the tales that we've been waiting for to come out and be told. Because when she comes up, Athena's owl, I call this card my Athena's owl. Because that Athena's owl could see and knew everything that was happening in the story of mythology, in the Greek mythology. She could see every situation with perfect clarity. That's why Athena was the goddess of war. She could strategize. She could see what was happening because her owl brought messages from the invisible world. Her ears could hear the voices of her ancestors, of the gods, so that she could acquire their wisdom and make decisions on her own that made her a great goddess of war. When we talk about war, we're talking about right now there's a coronavirus war. In order to be able to survive this war on virus that is affecting and will have consequences and effects for the rest of this year. It came in, boom, bam. This started the beginning of 2020. It ended 2019. It was happening over in China, and it ended right here for across the globe. It's everywhere now. It's not going to end until it's touched each and every one of us, because each and every one of us are somehow attached to each other through this world, through this human experience, through this human existence on this earth. We all share. Can't you see? The owl is here to say, don't be afraid of the truth, because the truth is our compass. It's our compass. It's our direction. It's get a symbol, buy a compass. You can download a compass on your smartphone and play with that compass. Get to understand and know that compass. Know where you are at all times just by looking down at the compass. Are you in the east? Are you in the west? Are you in the south? Are you in the north? How do you spend your time? Excuse me. How do you spend your time? And based on what I told you about those directions will give you the clarity so you can see where you are, how you're spending your time, and what is needed. If you're spending a lot of time in the south, you look at that compass and it shows your direction is in the south, then that means you still have purging to do. You still have cleansing to do. And that's where your heart is. Your heart speaks the truth. Your heart speaks where you are. You know those saying when they say, when a person leaves you, if they turn around and look behind, that's where their heart is. If they keep going straight ahead, that's where their heart is. Oh my goodness, the crow. The crow, like the raven. In the shaman's card was the bird, is the crow. This is the representation of our first card of the crow. A 4 is stability. Crows they mate for like life. So even though crows are scavengers, we know them to eat the dead. So when the dead is, or other animals are roadkill, or another animal has, like the lion has came in the jungle and got his prey, and whatever's left over, the crow comes and scavenge. So, excuse me, my. I'm laughing now because the crow is here as a keeper of the universe, guys. Excuse me. I think it's the candles. The crow is here as a keeper of the universe. The crow is a keeper of the law of truth. The crow will tell your secrets. The crow says, walk your talk. So if you don't own who you are, if you say one thing and do something different, the crow is going to remind you, hey, you're not telling the truth. Can you let me show you the truth. The crow is going to show up and help you to speak your truth. Be true to who you are. And everything you say, remember, the shaman says, be careful what you ask for, because he's here to give it, to deliver, to show it. So the crow is here to help you co-create that truth. And whatever is untrue or not the truth, it's like free yourself, be yourself. So just the crow is here. I'm going to keep it just that simple. Just be true to your word. Be true to yourself. Don't make promises you cannot keep. And do not be seduced by illusions. The crow. The hunter. We had this card last time because I remember talking about the bear and all of the animals that the master hunter, the game that the hunter knows how to play. And it's a 9 because the hunter is obtaining exactly what it's looking for. So it goes, it's the message is right here. Oh my goodness. It's so I can see. Okay? Every single one of these cards saying, be careful what you ask for because it's here. It's happening. It's going to happen. If it's not what you want, you better be very, very real. You better know exactly what you want, where you're going, because before we had these beautiful, gigantic buildings, the world that we know today, the agriculture, the architecture, the roads, the highways, we hunted in the forest. And the hunter went out to bring in the good kill and became a master trader and a master hunter. So when you rely on these skills to hunt through the thickest forest, meaning trying to see to reach your destination, when I'm traveling, it's like I'm trying to get to a destination. You go up in the airplane and then you're going to come down somewhere. And so before you get there or before you know where you're going, you have to do your homework. You have to know where you're going and stay true on that path, on that journey, because at the end of that journey, there lies your goal. There lies your destiny. There lies your good kill. The hunter. And got 7 cards, guys. Wow. The middle world. Oh. Again, it's attainment. It's a number 9 card. Oh my goodness. Wow, guys. It's the mystical shaman. Be careful what you're praying for. I mean, I bet you didn't even notice right now in your life that your goals are arriving. When you look around in your life, are you saying you no longer know what you want, or things are happening in your life that you have no control over? So, for example, you've been in a bad relationship, right? You've been suffering with making choices or changes in your life. And then all of a sudden, that lover or mate comes and says, I don't want to do this anymore. But you've known for a long time that the relationship was over, but because you didn't make the choice, it was made for you, and it's devastating, and you think that this devastation is horrific. But actually, it is what's needed. It is a purging that is needed. That's why I said, guys, if you purge yourself, you make the truth, you know the truth, you stand up and you do what is necessary, you have complete control of the flow of your life. But when we can't make those decisions for ourselves, they will be made for us. And when they're being made for us at the time, we can't see it's for our greater good. So the middle world is our day-to-day reality. It's like the playground that we're living in. We're living right here in the middle between heaven and earth. And so when the middle world card is here, it's saying that favorable circumstances are here. Take it. Move forward. Because at this time, what needs to be done is going to happen, or you can make it happen. And when you are hurting from making some of these choices that we feel now is lost. Look up to the upper world and know that our ancestors, our angels, are all here keeping us because we're not in the roots and we're not out of the bubble. The birds are flying over our trees. It's eating our fruit. Like the raven is eating our fruit, plucking away the dead. I hope you are with me. I hope you're getting this and you're understanding this, because this is some powerful, powerful stuff right now. If you want to heal, please see. Please open your eyes and see. Know your truth, because it's time for attainment. You can have it all. The ghost dance, 4, we're back at 9 and 4, is stability and attainment. This is just, today I was telling myself, oh, I have to do a reading. My spirit was calling for a reading, but I have so much other things that I was planning to do, but I had to do this reading. And when I do these readings, it really is a whole day event, because I have to prepare for the reading. I meditate even more so for the reading outside of myself, the direction of the reading, and then recording the reading and uploading the reading. It's an all-day event. And today was the day for this week, because after this day, I said to my spirit guys, there's no more days. The month is gone, and I will be gone tomorrow. I have a trip tomorrow. I have a dance tomorrow that I have to show up for. So the ghost dance, when you think about Native Americans, Indians, they would do what they call a spirit of the living dance. And they were dancing for their ancestors to bring peace to our world. And so now that we have this honorable ghost dance, our ancestors are actually giving us and sending us their lessons and their gifts. And so what we do when our ancestors are on our heart or coming to our forefront of our thoughts, that is the time that we honor their story, their mystical journey. We honor their life and keep it going. Like in that movie I love, Coco. We play our music, we sing our song, and we honor the wisdom and the messages of healing and the powerful medicine that our ancestors are giving us. And they're giving it through the ghost dance. So you're probably in this Mercury retrograde period. In this mystical fish time, you may dream about fish, you may see ancestors, loved ones, spirits, you may even feel their presence, or they will come afloat in your heart, or something you'll be doing will remind you of them, because the ghost dance is saying that they're here. They are trying to help us and to let us know that there's no more time for learning. It's only time for healing. It's time to dance and live your own truth of the ghost dance. The ghost dance. Because, guys, the ghosts in our lives are the friendly loved ones. They're coming to with a message. They want you to know that these changes, your truth, you're not alone. They're with you to walk through this truth. Let's say you've been in a bad job. You hate your job. You hate where you work. Every day it's a struggle to get up in the morning and go to work. But you can't leave because you make excuses that I need the money, where else am I going to go? Blah, 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 blah. And then you go to work one day, and this happened to a friend of mine. I'll call them a friend, but more of an associate. They didn't know until they came to work and they were told, you no longer work here. And as devastating as that is, that means there is a time for change. That means to walk your truth, know your truth, because when you don't, all of this will come in your life, and it's happening now. The shaman, the wind, the owl, the crow, the hunter, the middle world, and the ghost dance is making it all happen for you. So that the rattle, oh my God. The card is the number 7, guys. Now I get it. Today is the number 7 day. I saw it. I saw the message. And now the rattle. Oh my God. The rattle. The rattle, guys. You shake it out. You shake it out. Spirit is the caller. So carrying the shaman's prayer to the 4 directions. When you rattle the earth, remember the earth is spinning all the time. So the 8 of this rattle for the medicine woman or man is rattling for its desired destiny, future. When you do a prayer, the Great Spirit, it is done. You know how they say, thy will be done. The rattle will guide us to a prayer for the earth, not just for our own personal needs. When we offer our prayers for the highest good of all, everything we need is provided. So I'm going to catch God on a whisper of my rattle tonight. I am going to shout and do a dance with the ghosts. These are creator tools. Creator tools. I love to rattle. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm going to rattle for you. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to sing my song to God for you, because don't hesitate right now. Just get out of your own way and allow your divine purpose to serve you. Till I see you again, remember, I love you. I pray for you. My blessings are gifted to you. Namaste.